Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com.
What is the halacha if you discovered a number of insects inside of your food? May you continue eating it or not? Must you throw it out or not? For example, you want to make rice for dinner, you took out your rice, you found 3 bugs. Do you have to throw out now the entire bag? Or can you still salvage it by checking it for bugs? A little bit of a more gory case. You found 3 insects in your cholent after it was cooked. You worked so hard making this cholent. Time, energy, and money. Must you now throw out the whole cholent, or is there a way to get out of it and still be allowed to eat it? And so on and so forth of all cases in which insects were found inside of a food. So the general rule is as follows, as recorded in the Rashba in a Tshuva 113, brought in the Mechaber in Shulchanaruchharav, chapter 84, halacha 9 through 10, and chapter 100, halacha 4, as a unanimous ruling without debate, that any food which is not pre-suspected of having infestation, meaning it doesn't normally need checking min adin, then so long as you only find 1 or 2 insects inside the food still retains its chazak of being clean of infestation and may be continued to be eaten without checking it. So for example, in areas that flour has a chazaka to be clean of bugs and people don't sift it, a single bug or 2 bugs were found, that doesn't mean that now you have to go ahead and check the rest of the flour, as its chazaka of cleanliness has not been ruined due to that. However, once 3 insects have been found, this is now considered a chazaka, and we thereby fully suspect that this food contains insects and it is forbidden for it to be eaten unless it is properly inspected for bugs and those bugs are gotten rid of from this food. If you don't have time to do so or you don't want to do so, then yes, you must discard it and throw it out. So on the one hand, we learn from this halacha that once 3 bugs have been found, even if it's a food that normally doesn't have infestation and doesn't need checking, you must now check it. On the other hand, we learned that just because you found 3 bugs doesn't mean you have to throw the food in the garbage, and you can simply check it and then eat it. So the misconception that if you find 3 bugs in your rice, you have to throw out the bag of rice is incorrect, inaccurate, and is not based on halacha. You can simply check the rice as you would do anyways, get rid of any more bugs, and then cook it. As once an inspection has been done, there is no suspicion of any remaining insects in the food. Now this is all regarding raw foods, which are very easily checkable for any remaining bugs once 3 have been found. However, what about cooked food, such as our cholent case? How are you going to go about and check there for the rest of the bugs? So this is exactly the case which the Rashba and the Mechaber and other poskim deal with directly. And they state a very simple rule. Any of the foods that is found inside this cooked dish that is possible to be inspected for bugs, such as, for example, a solid piece of meat, then you should wash it, inspect it, and then you can eat it, as you made sure it doesn't have any bugs. Likewise, if it's, let's say, a chicken soup, then you can filter the broth of the soup, and you see the liquid gravy has no bugs, you can then drink it. However, any part of the cooked dish which is not practical to check inside of it for bugs, such as thick gravy, cholent-like globs of food, a pot of rice, are all uncheckable now once they are cooked, and therefore must be thrown in the garbage. It is forbidden to be eaten due to its chazak of being infested once 3 insects have been found in this pot. Furthermore, says the Mechaber, when 3 insects are found in a cooked food, all the vegetables in that food, in that pot, in that stew, must be thrown out, as it's not possible to check a vegetable for insects once it is cooked. So even though we said you can salvage the chicken and wash it and check it, you can salvage the meat and wash it and check it, the vegetables, even if they are solid, such as a piece of potato or carrot, must be discarded. As if the bugs came from them, how are you going to check it? By opening it up. It's very difficult to check a cooked vegetable. However, if you know for certain that the insects are in the stew due to a different food, such as, let's say, you put in rice in your soup and you found in the rice bag that it has these bugs in it, so you know it didn't come from your vegetables. So in such a case, solid vegetables have the same din as the meat, and you can simply wash it, check it externally, and eat it. Nonetheless, even in such a case, it's always proper to avoid eating the vegetables due to the possibility that the bugs came from them and they cannot be checked. So to summarize, If one found 3 insects within a food, that food product is officially considered halachically infested and must be inspected properly to dissect it of any more bugs and may then be eaten. Once this is done, it can be eaten, does not need to be thrown out. If the food is cooked, since it's difficult to inspect it, then the entire food must be thrown out, with exception to solid pieces of meat, which can simply be washed and then checked externally, and with exception to any of the broth in the food, which can be filtered from the bugs.
Thank you for listening to Shulchanaruchharav.com. Our free services of making Torah knowledge available to the public depends on donors like you. Please help us continue our work through making even a small contribution at Shulchanaruchharav.com under the Daily Halacha Dedication section or in the subscription page. Also, check out our online courses and many sefarim available for purchase that will both enhance your Torah knowledge and help support our work.